I think once you get into a place where your failures are just yours, they get a lot less scary. And you answered the right thing. Whether it's your parents or somebody else in your life, the biggest reason people don't take risks is they worry about other people's opinions. It is, I wish you guys could feel what I feel in my heart and in my soul. I do not care about a single person's point of view about me, while equally caring about what you think about me. It's a very interesting contradiction. It's a subtlety, but saying both your parents and yourself, it's, you know, when I hear I'm scared to fail, but I feel like I can do it, you're just worrying about outside forces. It's no different than the way you, like, I love if my professors of 40, 50, 60-year-olds when I was 25 would have shit on me because I was excited about sticking it to them later. And if I didn't, and here's a big one, and I don't talk about this as much, when I fail, I'm excited because it meant that I deserved to fail. I love the game so much, even at my own expense. Like, I can't be pumped about the fruits of victory without equally respecting the agony of the defeat. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is the number one mistake that everybody thinks. Everybody thinks that they put their own self-doubt on themselves. It's actually not how it works. Outside forces got into your head and then made you self-doubt. You think it's your voice. Nobody's voice hates them in the beginning. It's a voice that's been implanted in you, either in the beginning from your neighborhood, an outside force, often parents. And so where people get really fucked up is they think like when I talk about like don't listen to the Joneses, they're like, fuck, you know, I don't care about other people, it's that I shit on myself. And I'm trying to get people to understand, you're not shitting on yourself, you've taken on the voice of somebody from the outside. You weren't born with like, I hate me. You've taken on the voice of somebody from the outside. It's very important that you understand this. I'll tell you why. It gets a lot easier if you actually believe it and understand it, because then you can understand it versus laying there and being like, why do I hate myself? You know what I mean? You don't. Somebody implanted their insecurities on you. It's why a lot of people get value out of me, because through my practical optimism, not my delusional you're an 8th place trophy, but from my practical optimism, if people keep putting that voice in their ears, the reason people listen to so much of my content is I'm optimistic, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be like, if you just wish it, it happens. And in that balance, over time, if that's what goes into your ears, then all of a sudden you start believing it. Like, I genuinely believe it. I believe that the two of us should never doubt ourselves. Why? Like, I don't understand. Like, go do and deal with like, I think I suck at most things, but I need to go find that out for myself, not do it because I'm worried about somebody judging me on my failure. Do you know how many people think they're supposed to have their life figured out at 18, 22, and 30 when the parents that are putting pressure on them to figure out their lives don't have their lives figured out? Oh, I like that one. How the fuck are you supposed to have your whole life figured out at 28 years old? It's ludicrous. We have such interesting macro theses in our society that are crippling people, and the reason there's so much anxiety in the system now is we're all living our lives in public forums and now taking on more judgment, not less. I don't hear any of you. Let me say it one more time. How many people here fuck with my content and they love it? Let me hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Let me say it one more time. For all the people here who think I fucking walk on water, I'm the best, I'm such a great dude, I can't fucking hear you. Let me explain why. Not you, bro. Let me explain to you why I can't hear you. Because I have no interest on getting high on my own supply. The reason I can't hear you is the same reason that I can't hear the person that leaves a comment that says I'm a snake oil salesman, or my cursing is inappropriate, or I suck, or I'm gonna burn out, or whatever else. I can't hear that fuck face either. I'm excited when I fail. I'm like, okay, tough guy. The sneaker. This is interesting to me. Why did I do this deal? It was win-win. If it works, I get to run around with the legacy of being like the first entrepreneur with a signature sneaker, and then, you know, it's kind of cool, right? Like in 20 years, entrepreneurs are just like athletes and musicians and have sneakers. I can sit here in 20 years and be like, you know, the way I thought about the first sneaker, you know, it's cool. It's a legacy play of being strategically right. But if I fail, it's ammo for my friends to make fun of me. Like, remember when you thought you were so cool, tough guy? Like, it's funny, but I have to have that humility as much as I have that confidence to be able to do my thing. You have to be okay with losing. I have a different question for you, which is, if that's your, I agree with you that education has the chance to change the world because it's already happened. Education changed the world. My bigger question is, I just want to make sure that you're not overly romantic of the format of the delivery of the education. So I'm fascinated by everybody right now in our current state being in technology. Let me explain. The fact that we in society put a handwritten note on a pedestal as this is some great gesture versus when we text people is fascinating to me, because we've put the medium on a pedestal, not the action. So you're telling me if I write an incredible 6-sentence, empathetic love letter to my mom of my admiration of her in text form, that for some reason is less powerful than a handwritten note for that same delivery, just because we're anti-technology, because we fear change? I laugh at that. That's how I think about education. I do not believe in a lot of ways that education is being dispersed because it is in the selfish financial interest of the disperser. You're 100% in charge too. Like people, like, you know, one of the things that, especially when you're younger, like the fact that you just said that, like, I understand that. Like a lot of conversation in my own family is like how us 3 kids took on different traits from our parents. But the reality is, like, that you're just fundamentally in control. There's a ton of things that I'm similar to my parents on, and there's things that I decided to audit and over time chip away at by just talking about it, you know? Like, if you talk to yourself about it, like, everything is solvable. I just really believe that. Like, it just is. Like, it just depends on what you're willing to listen to. Like, if you listen to your aunt who says you've taken on the worst things of your parents, you're gonna lose. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like this is just the way it is. I'm just really happy that you're even like that we're interacting this much, because, like, honestly, you know, it's funny. I just want people to listen to me as much as possible until they don't need to listen to me, and then I don't want them to listen to me at all. More importantly, listen to me, this is binary. You need to if you use this time that we've interacted, this time, to understand that any level of self-doubt or insecurity that you have in your head is literally been put inside of it, and it's not you doing it to you, it will change your fucking young life.
I turned 20 on the 18th.
Great, so you haven't even fucking started. I probably had my most significant I haven't started moment. Like, I think about it all the time, and for the first time, where the hell was I? For some weird reason, something about 20 years came into my head, and I was like, fuck, 63 is just not that old.
Right.
You're a baby. And when, over the next 50 years of my life, I figure out how to produce more communications to help you not hear it either, that is when I will start having more significant impact. Because when you don't hear anything, and I don't mean from just Fatty Pants 63, I mean from your dad. I mean from your spouse. When you, my friends in Phoenix, on a Wednesday, going into 2019, when you stop hearing things, shit gets remarkable.